Wheatstone bridge. Now, what is there in a Wheatstone bridge is, or just define what is a Wheatstone bridge. It is a network of 4 resistors which are connected in the form of a quadrilateral. So these 4 resistors R1, R2, R3 and R4 are connected in the form of a quadrilateral, and across the diagonals of the quadrilaterals we will be having 2 more connections. First one is a galvanometer which is connected across one diagonal of this quadrilateral, and the other one is this cell which is connected again across the diagonal. So if I have this kind of a setup, then this network is called as a Wheatstone network, or it is also called as Wheatstone bridge. Let us say this is point A, B, C and D. I have got 4 points labeled. R1 is connected between the branch AB, R2 between B and C, R3 between A and D, and R4 between C and D. Across the diagonals we have the galvanometer, and across other diagonal I have got a battery. So this is my Wheatstone network. Next thing is we need to give the sign convention to the resistors. So current will flow from the positive side of the battery. It will be, let's take this current as I, and at this point the current is going to get divided. So I will take the current which is going towards R1 as I1. Similarly, which is going towards R3, I will take it as I2. From A towards B, the current I1 is going to cross this resistance R1. So I will put a plus sign and minus sign here. So that is my sign convention for the resistor R1. Then from point B to C, the current is going to flow in this way. So I am going to put plus and minus. This is the higher potential, this is the lower potential. Similarly, going towards D, this will be plus, this will be minus, and this will be plus, this will be minus. We need one more current to flow towards the galvanometer, and that current is taken as Ig. So it is galvanometer current Ig. Now if you look at this point B, which current is arriving there? It is I1. Which current is leaving from there? It is Ig. So what current will flow towards the point C? It will be the difference between the currents which are coming from A and the current which is going towards D. So if I want to write the current here, I will be writing it as I1 minus Ig. I1 is arriving, Ig is leaving. The current which is arriving, it will be taken with a positive sign, and the current which is leaving, it is going to be taken with a negative sign. Now just like we did with point B, same thing if I do with point D. What is happening here is I2 is arriving, also Ig is arriving, so both will be with positive signs. So this one will be I2 plus Ig. So 2 currents are getting added at this point D. Then these 2 currents will meet at point C. What will happen here is, it will be I1 is arriving from here, I2 is arriving from here, there is a minus Ig arriving here, there is a plus Ig arriving here, minus Ig from top, plus Ig from the bottom, both are going to get cancelled. I will get only I1 plus I2. What is I1 plus I2? It is this current, that was our original current, and that current will flow back to the battery. So that is about the explanation of the circuit. Now going for the KVL, because KCL we have already applied. If you look into the circuit, I1 is arriving, Ig is leaving, and this part I have taken it as I1 minus Ig. So that means I have already applied the KCL to point B. Similarly, I have also applied KCL to point D. Next, I will start with KVL. So we are going to apply KVL to the loop ABDA. ABDA. I have to go from A to B to D, then back to A. That is my first loop. So going from A to B, what is my current here? It is I1 and it is with a plus sign. So I am going to take it as I1. Then what is the resistance there? It is R1. So I am going to take it as R1. So I am done with this A to B part. Next, going from B to D, there is a current Ig flowing. Now one more thing regarding the sign convention, it will be again plus on top, minus in the bottom for the galvanometer, and that galvanometer will also have a small resistance with it, and that resistance will be labeled as G itself. So it will be going from B to D. What is the sign? It is the plus sign. What is the current there? It is Ig. And what is the resistance there? It is the resistance of the galvanometer, which is going to be written as G. So I am done with the second part, B to D. Then for the third part, D to A. So what is the first sign I am coming across going from D to A? It is a minus sign. So it will be a minus. The current flowing there, it will be I2, and the resistance which is present there, it is R3, and this entire thing should be equated to 0. So we have applied the Kirchhoff's voltage law to the loop A, B, D, A. Ig will become 0. Why that Ig should become 0? Because if it does not become 0, as I had mentioned, the galvanometer is going to detect the presence of current. And if I am detecting that presence of that current in that circuit, if I want this network or this circuit to be balanced, that means the voltages on the two sides should be equal. Only then there will be no flow of current happening. So in this case, if I want the current to become 0, that means the galvanometer should give me a 0 reading. So what is that condition? It is the balancing condition of the Wheatstone bridge. So what we want the bridge to be balanced. Whatever the current is flowing on one side, the same current should flow to the other side. Whatever the potential is present at point B, the same potential should be present at point D. Only when this situation arises, potential at B is same as potential at D. Only in that condition, there will be no current flowing across the galvanometer. So what is my condition? Balancing condition. Under balanced condition, Ig should be equal to 0. Now, if I take this Ig as 0, then Ig multiplied by this G is going to become a 0. What I am left with only the first term and the third term. So I will take it as I1 R1 minus I2 R3 equals 0, or alternatively I can take this term to the right hand side. I can write it here. It will be I1 R1. This term goes to the right hand side. It becomes positive. It will be I2 R3, and this I will take it as equation number 1. It is B, C, D and B. So applying KVL to B, C, D, B. So going from B to C, what is the first sign I am coming across? It is a plus sign. What is the current flowing there? It is I1 minus Ig. So I will take a bracket, I1 minus Ig. What is the resistance present there? It is R2. Then going from C to D, because I am done with this BC part, the next I have to go for this CD part. So going from C to D, the first sign I am coming across is minus, and the current flowing there is I2 plus Ig. So it will be minus of I2 plus Ig, and the resistance present there, it is R4. So C to D part is over. Next part is going from D to B. It is a negative sign. Current is Ig and there is a resistance of galvanometer G. So that will be minus Ig into G equals 0. So that's my condition. Next, I can open the bracket and I can cancel that Ig term, because we know that under balanced condition Ig should be equal to 0. So I can cancel this term, Ig is gone. Here also there is an Ig, that will also be gone. If there is an Ig here, that will also be gone. So what is left here is I1 into R2 minus I2 into R4. That term is already gone, so I can take this as 0 and I can shift this term to the right hand side. It will be I1 R2 equals I2 R4. So this is going to be my equation number 2. Now what I can do here is equation 1 divided by equation 2. So if I do that, it will be I1 R1 divided by I2. So it is I1 R2 equals, right hand side it will be I2 R3 divided by I2 R4. So I have got my equation 1 in the numerators and equation 2 in the denominators, and just by observing you can say that I1 will cancel on the left hand side, I2 will cancel on the right hand side. What is left is R1 divided by R2 equals R3 divided by R4, and this condition is called as the balancing condition of the Wheatstone bridge. Now, as I had mentioned in the beginning, we will not be dealing with the external part of the circuit. So there is no mention of V or that capital letter I anywhere in the derivation. We are interested only in this quadrilateral part which contains the 4 resistors. That is one thing. Second thing I had mentioned is, even if you interchange the position of R2 and R3, it is not going to make any difference. What that means is, I have got R2 here in the denominator, I have got R3 in the numerator. If I interchange the position of these two, it will be just like I am doing a cross multiplication. So it is not going to make any change to the derivation or any change to the circuit. Same equation we can also use for finding the unknown resistance if we have 3 resistors, that is R1, R2 and R3 are given. I can easily find the value of R4. So that is why we will not disturb the position of that R4 as well. Now one more point regarding this Wheatstone bridge. The arms R1, R2, they are called as the ratio arms. They are called as the ratio arms, and that is on the left hand side of the equation. The R3 part, it is called as the standard resistance part, and the R4 is called as the unknown arm or the unknown resistance.